Hi, everyone. We're here live in Scottsdale, Arizona today, and we have Rachel Smith, who is a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. Did I get that right?
You did. It's a mouthful.
Okay.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
You can say FDNP for short.
Oh, that's it. Okay. So, well, tell us what that is, Rachel, and what you do.
Sure. So a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner is somebody who we really look for the root causes of health issues. So we are running a wide variety of labs with people, looking at hormonal imbalances, nutrient deficiencies, maybe toxins like heavy metals or mold, gut infections. And from there, we can really understand what is the root cause of why people have a disease or health symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we use really a wide variety of holistic health practices to help them heal those issues.
Okay.
Which is going to be nutrition, stress management, exercise, sleep optimization, and really anything that we need to totally transform their health. And for me specifically, I work with people who have autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses right now.
Tremendous work that you're doing.
Yes.
So I was going to ask, are you working with people when they have no other options? Is that how they're finding you? Or do you have people that come to you for preventative medicine?
That's a good question. I would say most of the people that come to me are the people who have been to 20 different doctors.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't seem to get a real answer. They're getting prescription medications, which we know is really just a Band-Aid putting over their symptoms.
Right.
Or also, maybe they don't even have a diagnosis yet, and they're still really searching for that. So
That's tough. Yeah.
yeah.
What is it you do when someone comes to you in that state and they've seen 20 different doctors? What is where do you start?
We always start with lab testing because we don't want to just guess on what's going on. We could make good guesses, but we want to be 100% positive on what actually is going on internally. So I talked about some of the testing already, and that's kind of where we would start. And then based upon those findings, we are going to make a custom supplement plan for them to address any kinds of imbalances, deficiencies, infections. And then I'm going to work with them for 4 to 6 months on nutrition and all the different lifestyle changes they need to make.
It's great because you're not putting a Band-Aid on it. You're really getting to the core of it and viewing the person as a whole.
Yes.
That's wonderful. And you want to tell everybody how you got started with this?
Sure. So I will shorten my long health journey story, but basically before my 20s, I started to get really, really sick. My hair was falling out, I had brain fog and fatigue, and was seeing so many different doctors, wasn't getting any answers. And I also had heart palpitations, and it got to a point where I was admitted to the hospital. The doctors did an exploratory heart surgery on me, and they didn't find anything wrong. And so $100,000 medical bill later and no answers, I wound up seeing a functional medicine doctor who was able to diagnose me with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease. And from there, I started my journey. And within the first 6 months of making nutrition changes alone, I started to see the symptoms go away and kept working on my journey until I was able to put my Hashimoto's into remission. And
Great.
yeah, I was
so amazing.
This is a crazy story because you look so healthy, so young, so fabulous. But that's horrifying. And there are probably so many people who go through something like this where they can't find answers and there isn't a place to turn.
There's a lot of people we know that are constantly, they go to so many doctor after doctor trying to find out what's the matter with them. And that seems to be like a growing thing. So they can just one-stop shopping with you, really.
I like to say that I want to be the last practitioner you really have to see.
That's great. Hopefully you could be the first. And that would be wonderful.
Can you tell us about some of the types of cases that you've seen, the different diseases, what types of successes you've had? Because I know when Deb and I first started talking to you, we were blown away.
Yeah.
You can share some of that?
Sure. So a lot of different autoimmune diseases. I'll give you a specific story of my client, Ashley, that worked with me. She was in her 30s, full family, multiple kids and a husband, and she came to me with bald patches on her head and skin rashes all over her body. So the two autoimmune diseases was alopecia areata and granuloma annulare. And just like many of my other clients, the doctors just tried to give her prescription medications and nothing was really working for her. So after we ran some lab testing and we changed her lifestyle, within a few months, her hair grew back.
Wow.
Her skin was clear.
Amazing.
Wow.
And her energy levels were to a point where like she could actually spend time with her family and be more patient with her kids and her husband. And she looks great. She has all her hair
amazing.
back.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like a really powerful example. But we've seen people with rheumatoid arthritis, EOE, IBS, and a wide variety of other conditions actually put those into remission.
That's amazing. I have a long list of people I need to send to you, really. And talk about that. How are you able to work with people all over the world?
Yeah, great question. So mostly I work with people all over the US and Canada.
Okay.
And it's actually really simple. So we ship the labs to the person's house.
Okay.
And most of them are actually bodily samples like hair or saliva or urine. So they can actually just do them at home and ship it out. Don't have to run to a bunch of doctor's offices. Right. Sometimes if we do blood, they will go to a lab and get the blood drawn. I get all of the results. And then we do all of our meetings on Zoom. So
that's amazing. You don't even have to leave.
Exactly.
Right. That's great. And you also have a podcast, right?
Yes, I do. It is called the Natural Health Rising Podcast.
Okay.
Love it.
And I've had some of the top health experts in the US on my show. And we really just dive into anything holistic health, functional medicine. And we always want to make sure that we're providing quick tips and valuable things to the public so that they can actually implement those.
Speaking of tips, would you like to give our audience a quick tip that you think would be helpful?
Oh, a quick tip that would be helpful. Do we want to focus it on anything specific? Let's see. I would say to really start looking at your food as whole foods. We don't need to talk about specific diets or anything like that. If you just focus on eating real foods and reading labels, and if you can't pronounce the things on the back of the label, or if it has 20 ingredients in it, we probably shouldn't be putting it in our bodies.
We hear that a lot.
Our ancestors,
but so true.
Yes.
Our ancestors didn't eat that stuff, so we shouldn't put it in our bodies. That's a really simple tip to just reduce inflammation and make sure you're getting better nutrients.
Okay, great. Well, right, because when you reduce the inflammation, that takes care of a lot of things.
It does. Yeah.
Hey, that's amazing.
And you have a retreat coming up. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So the retreat the company is called Rising Retreats. And the first one is going to be in Costa Rica in May of 2023.
Deb, what are we doing in May
I know.
2023?
We're going to Costa Rica now. That's what we want to do.
Yeah. It's going to be an all-inclusive retreat. I'm going to be teaching people all about nutrition, stress management. We're going to be doing movement activities, of course, fun activities that are in Costa Rica. We want to have some adventures.
Terrific. Sounds amazing. We're there.
Yes.
We're there.
Yes. It's going to be amazing. And I actually have a friend of mine who is one of the best artists in the Phoenix area. And we partnered together, and we're also going to be incorporating some creativity and some art into it.
Very nice.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Now, how long are we going for?
A week.
All right. That sounds good. All right. Fantastic. Well, Rachel, this has been so educational and amazing. So thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. This has been
It
fun.
was great. Thank you.
And how can people find out more about you and everything you do?
So my business is called Natural Health Rising, and it is that across every platform, whether it is Instagram, TikTok. My website is naturalhealthrising.com.
Perfect.
So super simple to find me.
Excellent. All right. Thanks again. And we'll be right back after this.